Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Zim Obi, aka Zilla Vale, aka Mr. Young Crouch himself, aka Anyway. We have a very, very special guest today. TikTok content creator, a specialist, finance, travel connoisseur. We have the wonderful Yasmin. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Good. I'm glad that you're here. I've been following your content. I think the first thing that I saw of yours was you put some notes down about what you wanted to achieve in a year, and one of them was like French and improving that, and that really caught my attention because I've been trying to learn French for the longest time, and as a budding traveler, I think it's important to have another language. So I see myself as a bit of I've got polyglot tendencies, but I'm not a polyglot, and that's my issue. I probably know, like, let's say, a word, like 3 or 4 words or a phrase in like almost every language.
Yeah.
But I don't know another language. What about you? Can you say?
I can speak English,
That's good. It's a good start.
Portuguese, Turkish, Spanish, and French. But I wouldn't say I'm like good enough at French to count it, which is why I want to improve it, which is what's on my list. Like I want to be able to say, like I'm not just proficient, I'm fluent.
Yeah.
So I can understand it really well and I can read it and kind of write it. I think Latin languages are very similar. Like when you know Portuguese and you know Spanish, it's like the grammar and stuff is pretty similar. So it's easier to learn than if you don't know it, like from starting from scratch. That being said, I'm not a professional yet and I am still learning. So I've enrolled at a French course and hopefully we'll see.
Oh, that's wicked. I would say that I barely know English, but with French, because I'm really interested in the culture, and I've actively been taking lessons. Plus, in my primary school, they taught French, which was really lucky. Yeah. So, like, I've got a foundation. I'll say I'm like intermediate, but I want to be at a level where I can listen to French songs, which I do a lot of, and not needs a translation.
Love a French jam.
You know, okay.
I love French music. Like that is my vibe.
Really?
Yeah.
We are gonna get into that. But before that, we've got to get warmed up. And based on what you've just told me, I feel like you'll be really good at this. So let's play a game.
Let's play a game. I'm down for a game.
So in 15 seconds, actually, no, let's make it 10 seconds. I want you to tell me how many languages, not how many languages, how many different ways of saying please in different languages you can in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
All right, starting from now.
S'il vous plaît, por favor. Please. Lütfen. Oh my God, I forgot.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure.
Thinking, how do you say it in Italian? And I wanted to say arrivederci, but I was like, that's not how you say it.
That's
and then
definitely not.
I was thinking about German, and all I could think of was danke, but that's thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's on the spot. It's really difficult, but you got 5 though. That's the record actually so far.
Oh my God.
So at least you got a record. What was the last one you said? I think it began with an L.
Lütfen. That's in Turkish.
Oh, that's okay. I can't validate that. So yeah,
that is
you
in
win.
Turkish.
You win.
Oh my God, I should have said it. No, I will say thank. I know to say thank you in more languages.
Yeah, but that would be too easy, right? So that's why I was thinking about it beforehand. Okay, let's go up a little bit. How many different languages, and give the examples, can you order coffee in? I'll give you 10 seconds again.
It's going to be the same 5 languages.
Go on, let's hear it.
Café ouvir-me lütfen. Posso ter café, por favor? What languages have I said it in? Please. You know what? I don't even know what. I feel like it's too long of a sentence.
Yeah, I wanted to catch you up, to be fair. But you're actually the winner though so far. Like so far, I think we've got 3. Yeah. But it wasn't for please. It was for to say I'm peng or I'm sexy in as many languages as possible. And my friend basically said I'm sexy, je suis sexy, and then in Spanish I don't know what it is in Spanish, but yeah,
sexy.
Yeah, exactly. But the word is actually the same, pretty much. So you got away with one. So how, like, you speak Portuguese? I asked you earlier, and you've got Mozambican heritage. I'm guessing, like, from your parents, that's how you speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
And also Turkish.
Exactly.
That's wicked. How is it growing up bilingual and, well, trilingual.
Yeah.
And like, did you have difficulties in school, like in primary school? You did?
So when I first started speaking, like everyone started speaking like 1, 2. I didn't speak at all. Like I was like truly a mute child. My parents were like, "Oh my god, she's not speaking." My mum was having like panic attacks. Like, what are we gonna do? So by advice of my school, my nursery, creche, whatever it is that you go to when you're 2, they were like, "You should see a speech and language therapist." So at 2-year-old me went to a speech and language therapist, and apparently she had basically told my parents, you need to stick to one language, because my dad was speaking to me in Turkish, my mum was speaking to me in Portuguese. I'm going to school and hearing English, and I, for whatever reason, couldn't comprehend anything and didn't know how to like respond. So they said, okay, you need to stick to English in your household until she's old enough to learn that she needs to learn different languages. So that's what happened. But funnily enough, my brother, who's younger than me, my parents were speaking to him in Portuguese and Turkish, and he never had that issue. He was just speaking all of them all at once.
Oh wow!
And he's much better than me than everything.
Wow, I'm jealous because you're actually a polyglot family. That's like that's goals.
It is.
I'm a polyglot like faker basically, because like I mean I could be in, I don't know, like Poland, and I'll start saying dziękuję or whatever, and then people are like, oh, how do you know that? Like Czesh, and then like they ask me to say more, and I can't say anything else. But I think language is a key to like bridging the gap.
Yeah.
So like here at Young Crouch Travels, the goal is to encourage inner city young people to like be into traveling and to explore different cultures. Young is quite subjective. Like if you're 40 but you feel young inside, then you're a young crouch traveler. We've also got a pose, so that's why it's called Young Crouch. But growing up in London, you see so many different cultures, especially like where I grew up in Streatham. Like you get Brazilians, Pakistani, Nigerians, Jamaican, everything. And you just want to, like, being exposed to that, you want to like know where those people come from, like directly. And that's kind of what got me into travel, plus my sister. Big sisters always help, by the way. So yeah.
It made me more of a role model to my brother.
Yeah, but I think you're doing good things, you know.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like I want to encourage more people to get into travel. So we do some documentaries, films, and stuff like that. I recently went to Senegal and Gambia, and
Gambia is on my list.
It's on your list
purely for the gorillas. I just want to see gorillas in the wild. I heard that that's where you can see them like roaming and, like in the wild, and I want to go just to see gorillas.
I didn't see gorillas, by the way. But
what?
Yeah.
I'd be fuming if I went all the way there and didn't see gorillas. Like that would literally make me really upset.
There are a lot of things which kind of got in the way, but next time I'm definitely going back. But I like to see new places before going back. That's the thing. But I'll definitely be back. But people ask like, why Gambia? Because I've got Nigerian heritage. I don't have Gambian heritage. But one of the things that I want to do is kind of like touch regions of different continents which interest me in some way. So being of Igbo descent, like Nigerian, we love our jollof rice. Ghanaians try to get involved, but we're like, yeah. Anyway, the origin.
I'm impartial.
See,
impartial.
Safety first. But Nigerians better. So, yeah.
You know what? I've had both.
I'm gonna get her to say it by the end of the podcast.
I've had both, and I actually preferred jollof rice from somebody who was from Togo.
Oh, those neutral answers. Okay, fair.
So, just gonna throw that out there. I'm not saying who started it, but the one that was made by the Togo family, Togonian. How do you pronounce it? Togolese family. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 rice.
Yeah, they're probably half Nigerian. I'll play it. Well, obviously, it depends on the person making it, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, it's all fun and games. So I'm really into, obviously, there's 54 African countries, but there are many like African ethnic groups. And within those countries, they have different trades and different customs. So in Senegal and Gambia, the major ethnic group is Wolof. And they're the creators of jollof. So that being said, I was like, oh, that tickled my fancy. I was like, okay, let me find out where this actually comes from. And also, when I did some research in Senegal, like they've got a pink lake called like La Creuse, and they've got the African Renaissance statue, which is the tallest monument in Africa, and like all these things which you might see in, let's say, a Western country and like a Western city, and you see so many tourists going there. You got it right there in Africa, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So it was a wicked holiday.
Yeah.
we drove between Gambia and Senegal, which I don't recommend because that took 16 hours, even though they're right next to each other.
The roads.
The roads, the
route.
a little bit of bribery as well. Yeah.
Typical.
Long story. But it was an experience, and one that my friend who came with me, like my best friend, who filmed the experience, he'll never forget it as well. So I always like try to encourage people, like not just go to Africa, but go somewhere where it's not bait, you know.
There's so much to see in the world.
Definitely, yeah.
So me and my friends are planning our summer holiday this year,
Yeah.
and we've literally. It's so difficult because when you want to go in summer, so little of the world is in summer.
Yeah.
In our summer.
Yeah.
So it's like we want to go somewhere hot, but it's like can't go to Mexico because it's like seaweed season, it's rainy, storms coming. Can't go too far east because it's like it's like not summer. Can't go to certain parts of Africa because it's not super hot. So it's like we're literally stuck with Tanzania, and not stuck. Obviously, I'd be really, really grateful. Yeah, grateful to go to Tanzania. So our plan is to do Tanzania, Kenya, and Zanzibar, and because that's like the only place you can go that's hot. Like that's not Europe, because we've seen Europe. Like I've been all around Europe, and it's like you want to do something different. And if you're going to spend your money on something, you want it to be like a new experience. Like you said, you don't want to go back to the same place you've already been. You want to try something new.
So if you could go to, because Tanzania, East Africa, beautiful. I've never been to Tanzania. I've been to Kenya, but beautiful. Are there any other regions on your list? Like not just Africa, but like in general?
Mexico's so on my list.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do like the typical Cancun. Like I want to see like the Mayan culture. I want to go to Mexico City. Like my friends like, what do you want to do there? Because we watch like vlogs and stuff, and they're like, it's so dangerous. Yeah, I'm like, guys, look, we're gonna live it.
Get out of here.
You need to experience the full thing. So Mexico City is like super high on my list.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's fine. Don't worry.
Colombia is also on my list.
Venezuela,
like lots of like South American areas. I feel like Argentina is not really somewhere of interest.
Yeah.
Don't want to do Argentina. And like the Caribbean islands, my friends are so on like going to the Caribbean, and I just don't care enough.
So if you do it with a group of friends, so like my first solo holiday exposed me to like what I like in holidays, because I'm very independent, so I can go for a long walk, you know. So I went to Rome. That was my first holiday by myself, because I think in that year, it was like 2016, I said to myself, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it regardless, right? So I was supposed to go with some friends, but they couldn't make it. But what it ended up making me doing was like seeing the Colosseum, seeing the Trevi Fountain. But I went to a holiday with them the next year. We went to Genoa. So these were a different group of friends. And one of my friends is from there. And like her showing us around, you know, things that we wouldn't really see in London, and, you know, the architecture and like just the general culture and customs.
Yeah.
I love that aspect as well. So when you identify what type of holiday is your favorite, that's how it can, you know, affect your decision. So with the Caribbean, some of my friends are looking to go like before, like on our 30th. So a couple of years time.
How old are you?
20. Well, guess.
I don't know. Maybe a couple of years, and now I'm going to say 27.
28. Oh. Do I look it?
No.
Thank you.
No.
I guess. Do I look older?
You look younger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thing is, that didn't used to be a good thing because I kept on getting ID'd, and I used to work in a kiosk, in a family kiosk, and like most people were younger than me. This was at Chelsea Football Club, and they thought I was their age, and it was a bit annoying. I was like, no, don't talk to me like that. But so we're looking to go to Jamaica, and I feel like that's the type of holiday you do with your friends, and it can be lit. But like if you're looking for culture and stuff like that, I love doing solo trips, you know, and meeting people on the way. So
it's different because you're a guy.
This is another thing I want to get into. Yeah, so I asked earlier if you'd been on any solo holidays. Would you be willing to? You wouldn't, and I guess it depends on where as well.
Yeah, like my friend just went to Jordan by herself, and she said, it was good, it was safe, but she said that she literally got pestered by men maybe 5-6 times a day, and it's just I don't have the strength to decline or be like, I'm not a rejective person. So I kind of just go there, and I also don't want to be rude, then I get scared. Like I'm quite like a worrisome person. So the whole idea of being by myself, I'm just not secure in myself to go away and be alone in a foreign country where I don't know the language and explore, especially if it's not like super touristic. And a lot of the holidays that I go on are not super touristic. So if it was like Thailand, where you know you're going to meet loads of people because lots of people go there, that's different. But then I've heard too many stories of like backpackers that go missing, or like.
See, this is the thing. I think those stand out because they don't happen often. It's like you hear about plane crashes, but you don't hear about car crashes on the news because it doesn't happen. And it's like when it does, it's like, whoa, it's a big deal, So, I mean, yeah, be, like diligent, do your research and stuff. But I think wherever you go, even in London, you have to like show respect. And if you show respect, you'll be fine. I think that's a message that I really want to put out because a lot of people, well, I mean, I just met you today, and you seem really driven. And I feel like some people, they let their fears hinder what they want to do. And, I'm sort of taking it to a different extent, but I feel like for travel, definitely, like if you want to go somewhere, like definitely do it. Because you learn so much, like how people do things. I remember going to Peru. I went to Peru, Para. That was wicked, right? And I did I didn't know anyone there, and I have like one friend who's from there. He picked me up from the airport, but I didn't stay with anyone. But then I stayed out in a hostel called Loki, and there were like other people who were doing a group tour with the hostel. So we went to the Machu Picchu and whatnot. That was wicked. But like going on the tour and like meeting the people who were from America, from Germany, from the UK, like Manchester, Birmingham, France, like those are like the people who you see on group tours. I didn't know them beforehand, but we had the same mindset, and like you learn so much from the people you meet on your travels that I wouldn't want the fear of going somewhere to stop someone from, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's because it's going to come across really bad, but if I go on holiday, I don't want to stay in a hostel, and I feel like you meet everyone in a hostel.
Okay, you don't have to. That one, okay, the
but
first...
I think in general, because my friends that did Asia, like they did Laos, Vietnam, like everywhere, you go, you stay in hostels, you meet people.
Yeah.
That's where you would, because you're not going to meet people staying in a villa by yourself. If I'm going away, I want to stay in a villa.
Yeah. Fair enough. But if you're like, would you do backpacking?
No.
Okay.
But I would go to Thailand and explore, maybe do like the day tour excursions or something.
Yeah.
But I want to stay in a nice hotel or like something,
No, I hear you. Like, there's different ways to do a holiday or travel. I think that needs to be clear as well, because it's not. I've never done backpacking. Along my journey to the Machu Picchu, we stayed in different hotels along the way. Not all of them were nice, but like it wasn't like we had like a big bag or whatnot. But we did some hiking during that time. But then, I've done Afro Nation. That was the best holiday of my life. Went to Portugal, the Algarve, all of my friends. It was like London in the Algarve. So it's like...
It's 2019, Afro.
2019, yeah. A movie, literally a movie. So there's different spectrums of types of holidays,
So what would you say is your favourite type of holiday?
So that was my favourite holiday ever. 2019 was the best year ever.
That's because you're with your friends then.
Exactly, yeah. But as I said, I do love... So technically Peru was a solo holiday because I went there by myself, but then I just met people on the way. And I did Thailand as well, and it was the same thing. I really like the fact that you're not alone, even though you're going on holiday by yourself. So yeah, and Thailand wasn't hostels at all. That we stayed in a hotel, and then we stayed on a train, to be fair, because we did like a train between two cities. But yeah, like there's so many wild experiences, like on Koh San Road, which is like the main strip in Bangkok. You know what Bangkok's known for? Like there's
the street food.
There's a lot like the street foods, red light district sort of vibes. Yeah. And
that rude.
I don't know what. I think also we went into a club. So it was me and my little brothers, who are they were my old next door neighbors, but they're like second family. They moved to Thailand. So we went out there, and being a black person there, people were just looking at me. Like there were some girls who were Thai, and they were just taking a picture of me in the middle of the club. I was like, I've heard about this, but to actually be on the receiving end of it, like in person, was a bit like, But yeah, those sorts of things, like, I mean, I guess it depends on how thick-skinned you are, but that shouldn't stop someone from going, because like the whole holiday was amazing, So yeah, I want to get into other things which attract you to holidays as well. So you being a polyglot, I'm so jealous. One of the languages you speak is Portuguese. In Brazil, like Portuguese is the main language. I love Brazilian funk. I love samba. I love the whole vibe. I love football as well.
Been to Brazil?
I've never been to Brazil.
You need to go. You need to go in February so you can go to Carnival.
That's the aim. Have you been?
I've not been.
You've not been. But that's the language you speak.
Yeah.
So would you be comfortable going to Rio at
Yeah.
least? Yeah.
I would actually go to Brazil, but my parents wouldn't let me. My mum thinks it's super dangerous. There's like a whole stereotype around Brazil in Portugal as being like, or the bandits are like, it's like you can't go there. It's like the ghetto. And even if you go to like a really nice place, everyone's against you. You're going to be kidnapped. You're going to be bribed. Like, you know, like someone's going to hold you for ransom somewhere. So there's this fear within society about Brazil in general.
Mm-hmm.
So my family wouldn't allow it, I don't think, unless it was like for work or something.
Yeah.
That's for Rio, but maybe if I was to go to Sao Paulo, I would like to go, and I would like to go so I could experience it. But again, I wouldn't go by myself.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough though. I mean, I like solo traveling is a great experience, but you know, just traveling in general, I think is wicked. Do you have friends who are like-minded who would be going on a group holiday?
Yeah, my friends are so on holiday. Like the one good thing about me and my friends is that we have been traveling literally since we were in uni, and we make it a thing to travel. Yeah, not even just every year, like 3-4 times a year. So I'm going to Turkey at the end of the month. We're doing like a big tour of Turkey with my friends, and then we're going to Mykonos in June. Like I've never been to Mykonos. I've been to Greece, but different vibe. But it's gonna be a different kind of holiday because it's not like a cultural thing. It's more like a out thing.
Yeah.
And then Tanzania's gonna be like a relaxing thing and do some excursions, and they're just different vibes. Like throughout, I guess.
It's good to get the whole shebang. Yeah. Like my brother had his wedding in Cyprus, and it was like a beachfront hotel, and it was the most beautiful thing ever. But it's like that was a holiday, but it was also a wedding. Like it was two birds in one.
So my cousin's getting married, which is why I'm going to Turkey.
Yeah.
But then I thought, because my friends are coming, we might as well extend. So it's like the bank holiday, 2nd and 3rd of June. So we were like, let's stay.
That's a touch.
We'll take the days off, and then we're going to Cappadocia. I've never been there, which is like a really old desert cave city in Turkey, and it's like where everyone goes and takes pictures of the hot air balloons. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah. So we're gonna do like horse riding, go on the hot air balloons, like experience that for 2 days, and then we'll go to like a beach and like do like the resorty stuff. And so it's gonna be like we're extending the wedding vibe to make it a holiday and a trip. Yeah. And then we just booked Mykonos 2 days ago because the flights were super cheap. Yeah. We were like, let's just go. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. That's great that you can do two different sorts of things in the same country. So, as you said, like you've been to Greece before, but not Mykonos. Was it Athens or?
No, I went to Santorini.
Oh,
so similar. It's very similar to Mykonos, but not the same because it was like, since Santorini is like more like vacation, relaxing, like you're there for the vibes and the sunset. Mykonos is like, you're not going to sleep. You're going to be partying on the beach or whatever. Yeah. It's like a completely different vibe. I consider like there's like different types of Europe holidays. So if you want to go like out, you're going to either do like Ibiza, Mallorca, Mykonos, maybe like one of those Cypriot like Ayia Napa, is that what it is? Like, or Croatia. Like that's like to have fun. Yeah, like, you're going out. Then there's the ones where it's like scenic. So you might do like a Corfu or a Santorini or like a Sardinia. I went to Sardinia last September with my friends, and it was so peaceful, it was blissful. And you know when it's like calm because it's just old people, and you know that you're just chilling. Yeah. You're not there to have fun, like fun. You're just there to like take it in, eat food, be in the sun.
That's it.
Yeah.
So is food a major contributing factor?
100%.
What's your favorite cuisine?
I don't have a favorite cuisine. Ooh. I think it's Mexican, actually. Tacos, prawns. I love guacamole.
Guacamole, I do like the guacamole.
Beans, rice, chicken. Like I don't have a favorite cuisine. I have like favorite things that I like to like eat together. I would say my least favorite cuisine is probably Italian food.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say like that's on everyone's list as being top 3.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. It's just there's nothing that I've had in an Italian place that I can't make myself at home.
Oh, so it's not like special. It doesn't feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally made pizza from scratch yesterday for dinner.
Yeah.
I like making I like it.
Yeah.
Pasta. I won't make it from scratch, but I have loads of pastas in my cupboard. You know that I can just cook and make any sauce.
But it's not the same if it's not from Italy.
The best pasta I've had hasn't even within France, not even in Italy.
Oh, that's contentious.
So
they've got a little rivalry going on. So yeah, as my Italian friends will say, they don't get along with it, French people. But I kind of get what you're saying. The only thing is, so I'm going to Amalfi Coast this June.
I will send you the longest list of places to
greatly. That's amazing. And last time I went to that sort of region, so it wasn't actually that region, it was like the south of France actually, but I had like seafood linguine. To be fair, that was in France, but that was amazing. Technically it's Italian cuisine, but it was in France. Okay, I'm digging a bigger hole for myself. Anyway.
I don't know. I personal opinion, obviously, but we went to one restaurant, which I will send you the name of, which is the best one in Amalfi. Like, super stunning.
Yeah.
Amazing decor. Inside is really nice. The food service is really good. And it was good, but it wasn't, oh my God, this is amazing. It was like, this is amazing for the 5 days that we've been here and everything that we've been eating.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Have you done free walking tours, by the way? Because that is
I hate walking.
It's a oh.
And you could not, my friends know that you could not pay me to walk from the top of Oxford Street to the bottom of Oxford Street. I'm hopping on the Central Line for those 2 stops.
Stop
I'm
here.
not walking down from Marble Arch to Tottenham Court Road. Having a laugh.
Legit. What?
I hate walking. My friends just know, like, oh, Yasmin will meet us there. Like, I'm not walking.
Wow. I've never. I mean, you're in your 20s, right?
25, yeah. I hate walking. Any trip. And think about, like, when we went to Turkey last time, Istanbul, it's very hilly. And my friends, we were like, my friend planned it for her birthday, so we went on like a girls trip there.
Yeah.
And everyone wanted to walk. I'm looking on Google Maps, 40 minutes. I'm thinking, there's no way in this earth I'm walking 40 minutes. I'll meet you guys there. I'm getting a taxi. And I just find it so weird because it's like, walking is just not second nature to me. Like, I'm not someone that walks from A to B.
Why is that though?
I just don't like it. I'd rather run. Like, if I'm going to work out, I'm not going on those 10K walks. I'm going to run. So the idea of walking, I just find it slow. And just.
So for me, because I like to save money, like with most things that I do. So, and also, if I go to another country, if I can take public transport, I will, rather than taking taxi.
No, same.
So I feel more like a local as well. But if the public transport's taking long, then I'd rather walk to at least the next stop kind of thing, because I just don't like staying in one spot. So that's the thing. If your alternative is getting a taxi, then yeah, that's different. But yeah, for me,
I get public transport. Like, I like getting the train when I'm in another country because I like getting on the system and then realizing, oh my God, London's TFL like is actually very well.
It's really good.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Yeah, people don't realize.
Yeah, but in terms of like getting around in a city, in the country, especially if it's nighttime. Oh, it depends on the country, but I prefer getting taxis.
Yeah. Just
because I feel safer.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And as you said, like for like a female traveller, it's a bit different. So I asked about like what gets you into going to specific places, food being one of them, music as well. Would you say that you were influenced by a specific culture based on the music? So for instance, do you like Brazilian funk? You mentioned French music, so we'll get to that.
I feel like it's not a big enough of a factor for me to go somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Because I absolutely hate the music they play in Ibiza in terms of just being like deep house, calm, chill. Yeah, hate it. But I think Ibiza's stunning. Like, not even for that. So there's that part of the island that everyone goes to because they can have fun or whatever. Yeah. But there's the other part which is just beautiful.
Two sides, yeah.
And I would go back, even though I absolutely hated the music there. Yeah. I would go back just to experience that. So I'm more of like the scenes, like scenery, seawater. Like the sea has to be pretty.
Yeah.
Like I don't like going places where the sea's crap. This is why I hate Marbella, because the sea in Marbella is awful.
Oh wow! I'm literally going there in 2 weeks.
The sea is not nice at all. Like it's like murky water. There's like fat rocks on the side. Like it's just the sand. Like it's not clean. Like
yeah, I get you. I hate when you see blue water and brochures and then you get there and it's like not the same thing.
Yeah, no. So a big thing for me is like that, the weather, and then my friends. So not for me, but my friends. Obviously, my friendship group is black. They like to look at how do black people get treated. So when we was going to Italy, it was like, oh my God, I've heard they're so racist. We're not going to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to see it. Because everyone that made a TikTok about it or a YouTube video about how they've been like, discriminated against, or people stare at them or take pictures like you said. And they don't like that. So they don't want to go.
Yeah.
So there's some people that won't go because of that. But I actually don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I mean, obviously it depends on the individual. But I think like, especially if it doesn't like harm you physically, like, yeah, still go, because there's so many other things that you don't want to miss out on because of like I don't want to say little incidents because it depends on how you react to it. But like, yeah, having pictures taken of me, it was just weird, but I laughed it off because it was like, I was like, is anyone else seeing what's going on here?
It's so normal.
It's kind of funny.
I feel
Yeah.
like for me anyway, because in Turkey, I used to go every single year. My dad's family all lived there.
Yeah, yeah.
And they, probably like my first 15 years of life, they probably never saw black people. Now there are more people have come from abroad. They have like a lot of Turkish football players that are playing there that are black, and they see it more on TV and stuff. Before they had no clue. And they'd see you and they'd stare. My mum especially, she's darker than me. They'd literally take pictures or they'd ask questions. And how many times have people spoken about us in Turkish thinking that I don't understand? And I'm like, I understand every single thing you're saying, so watch out. And then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they're never sorry before they said, oh, I'm sorry that I didn't know you understand. No, don't be sorry because I understand. Like, that's so the wrong way about it. But I think because of that, because I've like seen it so much, that's not a factor that affects me.
You're numb to it.
So it's completely irrelevant.
No,
I think travel is about the experience and making memories. And if you're in a position where you've got enough money to do it, you should do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially while you're young, because as soon as you're older and you have kids, I have a friend that has kids now, and it's so difficult because she's like, she can't travel because she needs to think about her finances or she needs to think about childcare, and it's just, it adds unnecessary stress to your life at such a young age if you don't do it beforehand. So the younger you start traveling, the better. I highly recommend everyone to do that from young.
Love that. I didn't even need to ask her for words of advice, but in terms of stories, right, do you have any like wild travel stories or experiences where you're like, whoa, like good or bad? Like
travel stories.
Yeah.
I've had a few travel stories. I went to Morocco. I had a taxi driver basically tried to not kidnap us, but like
I've
take
heard
us
this
off
a
the
few
road.
times with Morocco as well, actually.
Moroccans are different. I've had, I don't really feel like, I had another in Turkey actually, but yeah, it's always with men, which I think is why I'm kind of scared about going alone.
Yeah, because it's based on experience. It's not like just what you've heard as well.
Exactly.
We went to Morocco, like a group of my group of friends, and there was one girl in the batch, so it was 4 of us that went, and like we realized she was behind us, like when we were walking through the Medinas, and like if we weren't there to see, I think there was a taxi driver who tried to like take her, and it was like what, like you hear about stuff like that, but to actually witness it in person, like we had to like kind of scare him off kind of thing. But Morocco is still beautiful, and that goes without saying, but we're just saying, be diligent. Like there are things that can happen in a lot of places, so just be wary of that. So food, music, not so much. How about film? So from my perspective, I've grown up on like anime, so I do really like Japanese culture. I watched an advert in, I think it was a Petit Filou advert. Do you remember Petit Filou, the yogurt, the fromage frais?
Apparently it's cheese.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get to know the girl in the advert when I was a kid, and then also like the marble floors and like the tinted filter. It just felt like a world away from London, and at first I thought it was Italy, to be honest. So I was in love with Italy growing up. I was like, I wanted to go. Then I found out it was France. And then, so I was fixated on those two cultures a lot. And then as I mentioned, like, Japanese because of like anime, and then, Nollywood. I was embarrassed by Nollywood when I was growing up.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it was like the Nigerian film industry, 3rd biggest industry in the world, 2nd biggest in terms of like how many films they produce each year after Bollywood. But like sometimes the scenes that you see from these films or cartoons or whatever can make you want to go to that place because it reflects the culture. So in anime, for instance, there's like some films which are based on actual locations within Japan, and I'd really want to go to them. So I don't know if you've seen a movie and there's a specific scene and you're like, oh, I want to be there. Like, has that ever happened?
The only place that I can think of that I really, really wanted to go to was Springfield because of The Simpsons. And then I found out it wasn't even.
It was a real place.
So that was like it.
Yeah.
But then I was really excited because when I went to LA, I went to Universal Studios and they had like a whole Simpsons thing. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think there was and seeing the Hollywood sign, which is so anticlimactic. Oh my goodness. Like, you know, when you expect to see this amazing thing, we're like driving down the road, you see the sign, you're like, oh, is that it? Like, it's just so, yeah.
Oh,
I don't think film influences me. No. No.
So it's mainly foods and water, as you said, like seawater. Seawater.
I'm like a hot. And
you don't
what
go
you
to
can
cold
do.
holidays. Yeah.
Experience. What can you do? What memories can I make if I go here?
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just for the break, or because you have the time, you just want to go somewhere and do something different. It's like, oh, where's convenient? Like, I've been trying to go to Norway for ages just for the sake of going because I want to go. There's no real reason that I want to go there.
No, I know what you mean. So another thing, I think a lot of people think of holidays as going abroad, but there are so many gems within the UK as well. Have you been to like Lake District?
Yeah, I've been to
Cotswolds,
Peak District.
Peak District. Okay.
I've been to Peak District, and I've been to Cornwall. I used to go to Cornwall a lot with my family.
Yeah.
But and like the other coast, Great Yarmouth and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing with the UK, which I just don't think is worth it, is the price.
Yeah.
It's so cheap to get to.
Yeah.
But you're paying like £200 a night for like a hotel or like a camping site or whatever it is that you're doing in the UK. That is really nice, but it's like with that money I literally could go to Barcelona, which is what I did. Like one time we wanted to go, we looked at it, there was like a really nice place in Lake District. We were like, okay, the train tickets to go up there is going to cost us like £80, and then the accommodation in total was going to cost us like £450 each for the weekend, which I get it is really nice, super scenic, your experience in the UK, whatever. But my flight to Barcelona cost £27, so it's cheaper, and then the hotel was literally like £200. So then we had more spending money because it made more sense to do something new than go somewhere in the UK, which is how I see it.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend the money doing something in a hotter country or just somewhere different than being in England.
No, I get you. I think that is definitely true. People might think, oh, you're saving money because you're not like paying for flights.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, flights are very cheap, you know, especially with EasyJet, Ryanair, whatnot. And, you know, like sometimes I think, I'll just catch a train to Paris. Eurostar's much more expensive than flights to Paris, you know. So
you do that for the convenience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you're right into the centre, and if you got vouchers or so, then yeah. But it is a bit deceptive. You think, if I stay in the country, then I'm going to save more, but it's not necessarily the case. But in general, I think there are a lot of beautiful places, and just city hopping. Like I like to tick places off my list. So you know, all of the, I don't want to say irrelevant cities because that's an arrogant Londoner in me saying, I only want to see Manchester, Birmingham. But just like, I guess iconic cities to some extent, like Bristol. I lived in Newcastle for a year because I was studying. Liverpool.
Bath?
I haven't been to Bath. I haven't. Bath. Yeah. Exeter. I've never been. I've only been to Bristol. So is it, I mean, because they're close by, but like Bristol's, I guess, more of the built up city. But
Bath is like very historical.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And you go like, I've never been to the Bath, like the spa stuff, but it is really pretty. Yeah. Cambridge is also really pretty.
Yeah.
Oxford is really pretty. Cambridge is prettier than Oxford in my opinion. Yeah, I just think there is a lot to see.
Yeah. And
it just depends on how much do you want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want the varsity coming for you with that comment.
Yeah.
But okay, so I do that with cities within the UK, but also in Europe. So when you mentioned you want to go to Norway, but like there isn't a specific reason, like that kind of applies to me as well. So like the capitals for most countries within Europe, especially like Western Europe, I just want to go to, and then I want to go to like other iconic cities. So in Italy, when I first did my first solo trip, I chose Rome, but it was like kind of between Rome and Venice. And in the end, I was like, okay, I probably should go to Rome. But then, like, some people just tick that country off their list, not realizing that there's so many other places to see. And I think Italy has it more so than the UK. I'd say, like, the UK and France are very heavily geared towards, like, London and Paris, respectively.
Really?
Yeah. But Italy, I wouldn't say, like, there is a main... I feel like people go to Italy for like many different regions.
People go to France for many reasons.
Well, the south of France and Paris, I think mainly.
Chamonix, people go skiing there. People go to the Bordeaux and they go to like the wine tasting region.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends. It depends on the person. I have friends from work that are literally going just to do the wine.
Yeah.
Like they're not even going to Paris. And it's like, that's a thing. And I didn't realize that was a thing at all because I did think that people only went to Paris for Paris.
Yeah.
France for Paris.
See, you're saying
Yeah.
like it's the whole country. Yeah.
But then as I got older, there's like the whole south of France. People fly from the States just to go to like Cannes or to go
Nice.
to Saint-Tropez and like to experience something different. Then there's Monaco, which is completely different. And it's like, there's so much. I feel like France is super versatile.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I'm saying like just from, let's say a layman, like someone who's not into traveling, when they think of a country, like, oh, France, Paris, UK, London. Whereas Italy, I feel like there's
more than one place.
Yeah. Like that comes to your mind in terms of like landmarks or like what's iconic. Obviously the Colosseum is super iconic, but you know, Venice, the city on the sea, you know, like, and if you're into football, like Milan's like super big. The Amalfi Coast. So I think, yeah, like these countries have more than just the main cities, but it's very heavily geared to the main cities. But I'm here to say that there's more than that. So I'm not trying to encourage that, you know, it's just London or Paris. I'm just saying a lot of people do think that way.
Yeah, there's so much to see in Italy.
Yeah.
So much. Like Milan is so different from the south.
Yeah.
And then that's probably so different from Venice. Like, I've never been to Venice. Because I always said I don't want to go because I thought I want to go with my husband.
Yeah.
That's always what I saw it as. So I was like, I'm never going to Venice till I get married or I'm about to get engaged. Like, I just thought it so romantic. So
I thought it was only a romantic holiday as well. But then one lady at my workplace said, no, like she knew some lads who went out to Venice. And yeah, no, it's pretty cool. You know, there's a lot you can do. I had some friends there as well, so I went to see some friends. But yeah, no, I didn't go with like a girlfriend or anything. So, yeah. So also on film, there was one film which really inspired me. I don't know how I found it really randomly. So, you know, Watch Mojo. It's a YouTube channel which kind of does like top 10 lists, right?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, there was like a top 10 list for movie scenes in which the breakup will have you jaw dropping or something like that, right? And yeah, the scene was a guy who was about to get married, and then in the end, he gave everyone, like, you know, at the wedding a sheet of paper and told them to turn it over, and the paper was a picture of his wife to be cheating with his best friend, and he basically said, "Yeah, to hell with you," and then just left. So in my head, right, it was funny. It was funny to see that, but I had no clue what type of movie it was going to be from that. So the movie was called The Art of Travel, completely unrelated to that, but it got my interest. And then basically because he had planned to get married, like have a stable job, whatever, and that kind of went out the water, he decided to go traveling, and he went down, I've forgotten what it's called, but there's like a, between like Panama and South America, there's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like it's pretty wild. And he went hiking with some random backpackers, and it was like an independent film. It wasn't like glamorous or anything like that, but it's one of my favorite films of all time.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, The Art of Travel, I definitely recommend it. It gave me the travel bug, and since then I just haven't looked back. I've just been fearless with it. And yeah, once again, to reiterate, do your due diligence, but like try not to be afraid. Like just, you know, go with the flow.
So I really want to go. Now you've said that, I've just thought about what scene that stuck with me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was The Jungle Book, and it was like the cartoon version.
Oh, okay.
So like the panther on the branch, then the bear, and then like Mowgli like hopping through the town. I don't know why. Apparently he's Indian, but for whatever reason in my mind, that was set in South America, and that whole thing's in the Amazon rainforest.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Well, I know, I don't think it is.
Oh, but it's
that's how I viewed it.
Yeah.
So growing up, I always wanted to go to the rainforest and like do a hike in the rainforest. So much so that when there was this whole like drama about them cutting down the rainforest, deforestation, which I had no clue, like I was like year 6, whatever, I would cry and be like, oh my God, we need to save the planet because the people of the rainforest are losing their houses or whatever.
Yeah.
So rainforest for me is like,
Yeah.
I'm not scared of animals or insects, or I don't have like that fear of things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just scared of people because I don't trust them.
Well, on that note, what we normally end up on Young Crutch Travels is giving a few words of advice, which you've actually given. So I've got a quote which I like to live by, and it is, you have to get lost to find yourself. So whatever situation you're in, like take a step back, you know, look around, like turn left if you're not sure which direction to go, and just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and then you eventually find yourself, because you can't find yourself if you're not lost. So that's what I live by, and it helps me with my travels. Do you have anything that you like live by? Any quotes or?
Oh my God, I have so many quotes.
Oh really?
I have so many.
Lay them on.
I don't.
Jollof rice
So-
is the best. From Nigeria.
I think my number one quote that I always tell people is that it's not a quote, it's like a phrase.
Yeah.
that I like to say is that I detest the term YOLO. People say, let's do it YOLO, let's do it YOLO. And I'm like, I get it, you should do it. But we don't only live once. We live every single day. So you need to make the most of every single day because you're alive. You're not living once. You're living every single day. You need to do things every single day. You need to be happy every single day. Make the memories, book the travel, book the exam, do everything you need to do to live life to the fullest. And a lot of it will come from experiencing new things. So go out, see the world, and make sure that you're actually living life, because you don't live once, you die once. You live every day. So make the most of it.
Deep. Thank you, Yasmin. You've been an amazing guest.
Thanks for having me.
Lovely having you. So just want to clarify, Nigerian jollof is the best, right? Anyway, all
I'm
right.
supposed to go to Nigeria in December.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll make it happen. My uncle tried to get us to go this year, but it's a bit short notice, so next year.
Nigeria and Ghana, that was the thing, to do the whole Dutch December thing.
I have to admit, Ghana's an amazing country, by the way. I went in December 2019. Amazing. But yeah, definitely too late. Okay, cool. All right. That's been Young Crux Travels, and we're out.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
I feel like I stutter a lot.